High drive, right center field. That ball is gone. Number 51 for Judge.
Hello and welcome to Technically Analytics. Today I just wanted to pop on YouTube just to break down the MVP race in the AL because Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh are in a absolute dogfight for the MVP. So let's get into it because I've been seeing debates and savagery on the timeline, especially on X, Twitter, and it's crazy. Like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of either of these teams. I'm a fan of both players. So I don't know what there's so many bad arguments about this. So I just want to break it down, give an official breakdown of all the stats, all the stuff. Because I think people are kind of missing the point of MVP type thing. MVP, what it means, what it does, how it should be decided, right? And everyone's focusing on, obviously, the home runs, which I have here. This is not going to be the official stat lines of the players because there's still 1 or 2 games left at the time of recording. So it's going to be a little bit off. Maybe they might have a few more home runs. They might have a few percentage points go here and there. But overall, it's pretty much the final. So let's start with Judge. And then we'll get into over here afterwards. Aaron Judge, right, this season, 360 batting average, 458 on base, 687 slug, 1.144 OPS, 215 OPS plus, 204 weighted runs created plus, 52 home runs, and I threw in BABIP for 377, right, just for curiosity. And by the way, all of these stats here, league leading. Like these ones in this cut, league leading, right? So Judge, great player, obviously. He does this like almost every every other season he does this. He did it last year. He's doing it again. He's the best hitter in the league. Like pure hitter wise, he's the best one. It just, there's no question, right? MVP, maybe, right? Cal Raleigh, right? Catcher, big dumper, more well known as. So his stats are batting average 248, on base percentage 360. Slugging percentage 594, OPS 799, OPS plus 171, weighted runs cleared plus 163, home runs 60, BABIP 247. Now I'm gonna point out something immediately now that I've read off both their stats, right? The BABIP, like, let's look at that, right? So if you know what BABIP is, it's batted average balls in play. So it's basically it's luck, right? It's a measure, it's sort of a measure of luck. So like above 300 is usually like lucky, and then below is usually unlucky. And usually power hitters, right, tend to have a luckier batting average because you're hitting over their heads, like you're hitting over the defense's heads. So it's a little interesting to me that Raleigh's big dumpers BABIP is a little bit lower than quite a bit lower than Judge's. So it is interesting to see that. I'm curious to know why. I think maybe Raleigh maybe he hits into more double plays or something. I didn't really look at that, but could be that, or he's probably just hitting it to more players rather than hitting over them, right? So that is a bit interesting to me, and that would explain why his everything is lower. Like, he's just not the pure hitter that Judge is, and I think that's just a fact, right? Like, he's hit more home runs, but that's the only stat he has on him, and people keep comparing the two stat lines like this means anything. Like, okay, yeah, it does mean something, but they're both really good. They both have great stat lines. Like, you're not disappointed from these guys at all. Like, 799's a great player. That's a great OPS for a player. 171 is a great OPS plus for a player. Like, there's no way that these guys, let's not get it twisted, right? These guys are both great players, having historic seasons, right? But the thing about MVP, right, it's not about individual stats and accolades and like, okay, he's having a great historic season, but sure. But it's also about MVP is most valuable, meaning what's the value that you bring to your team? Like, what is your team doing, and what value do you bring to that? Which team is getting the most value out of these guys? Because they're both obviously clearly valuable, and you can see the WAR right here. Aaron Judge 9.2 WAR, that might be a little bit higher actually now. Cal Raleigh 7.8 WAR. So when we look at the team stats over here, we have the Yankees, right? Team OPS, right? 787. Team OPS plus 118. Team ERA plus 104. Fielding independent pitching 4. And WHIP or walks, hits, innings pitched, basically base runners, right? 1.254. So that's the Yankees. That's their team stats. I got it from Baseball Reference. You can go find it yourself. And then the Mariners, 743 OPS, 114 OPS plus, 99 ERA plus, 3.97 FIP, and 1.221 WHIP. So pretty close, pretty similar in terms of teams. I mean, you could argue that maybe the Yankees are better at pitching by a little bit. I mean, better at ERA. I don't know. It's the pitching's kind of like I added it in there because I thought like, oh, maybe pitching will be the deciding factor. Maybe one team's pitching is like way better than the others. No, they're about the same. Like pitching is like, okay, that's can't do anything with that. Now, hitting wise, I would say the Yankees are a bit better at hitting as a team than the Mariners. I mean, just overall. I mean, but in reality, it's like, I don't know. The difference could be just these guys, but their WAR is different. Like they have 2 WAR difference, but it's a 4 point difference in OPS plus, and it's a 40 point difference in OPS. So is it? I mean, and then the other thing, right? Without the MVP, like their total WAR as a team without MVP, with the MVP rather, is for the Yankees is 33.8, for the Mariners it's 30.7, and then without the respective MVP candidates, without Judge and Raleigh, it's 24 and 22. So you could argue, because WAR is kind of like an overarching it's kind of an overall encompassing stat. You know, it's wins above replacement. So without Judge and Raleigh, you're looking at, you know, a significant amount of not wins, but also you're looking at basically the same sort of uplift for each team. I mean, the Yankees are a bit better, I think, in terms of overall, because you could just see from the OPS and from the OPS plus, there's a better hitting team. Now, there is one problem with this argument, of course, that people will point out, is that but Garrett, the WAR, the whites of the positions in WAR are skewed. How can you possibly compare these? But they're skewed to be equal, though, people. Okay, so the reason why they're skewed is because they have to adjust the runs because oftentimes, especially, I'm actually going to show this. I have it written there. Adjusted runs because offense is often sacrificed for defense in these positions. So in this case, it would be, if you look here, you could see like this is the current values for each position and how many runs they gain or lose. Because basically the ones that have +1 is ones where they sacrifice defense. So at catcher specifically for Cal Raleigh, it's a 703 OPS league average. You'll see it here. It's a stats are prorated to 650 plate appearances. So per 650 plate appearances, as a catcher in the league, most catchers will hit 703. Raleigh's hitting 799. And then for Judge as a center fielder, most center fielders hit 735 OPS. What's Judge hitting? Right, he's hitting was it 1.144 or something, right? So the runs, honestly, it's it's basically a 6.5 run difference between catcher and center field. And they're both positions where you put defense before you put offense a lot of the time. And interestingly, look at the BABIP too, actually, because center field has a 307 BABIP, and catchers have a 282. So actually, it kind of is positionally correct then. And I was talking about grounded and double plays. Yeah, catchers do more ground. Okay, so catchers are typically slower, except for JT Realmuto. I guess he's the only exception to this rule. He's actually fast, but so anyway, the run values are not. They're meant to equalize it. They're not like a skewing. It doesn't give any player more WAR than the other player. It just accounts for the difference in the positional value of each of how teams play it, basically, because then it's not fair, because if you're a catcher, you get penalized for playing defense. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You have to, because it doesn't take into account any of the defensive ratings, because it doesn't have, I don't think it's a lot of defensive ratings. Oh, there is some, actually. But either way, it helps. It helps. So I think the point is that it's a tough, even with the WAR thing and and all the WAR calculations, and even with all this team stuff and that all the personal stuff. So it's a really hard decision to make, I think. For me, based on the information I've gathered here as like a neutral fan of both guys and a neutral party, I'm a Mets fan, so I think Pete Alonso should win it, or Lindor if it was me. But anyway, I would have to say probably Cal Raleigh, just because he's a catcher. His stats are, it's crazy, because when you look at this line like here, his stats are almost in line with this line, except for the slugging and OPS is a bit higher. Home runs is, well, a bit higher. I don't know how many plate appearances he had, but like these stats are a bit higher. But overall, though, and this is pretty similar to what he's doing right now. So he's playing to his position almost to a T, and he still hit more home runs than Judge. And even though Judge is absolutely crushing him on everything else, but I think maybe Raleigh's providing more value to the Mariners than Judge is to the Yankees. And I think if you swap them, right, if they swap teams, I think Judge, if you put Judge on the Mariners, he would be MVP. So I know and of course that sounds backwards, like, oh, why is the MVP on a worser team? But it's like, that's because that's what MVP is most value, and you can't. And even though Judge is definitely the MVP of the Yankees, because he definitely provides the most value, there's no doubt about it. And Cal's the MVP of the Mariners, so But I think the argument is it's more about a team thing. It's like, yes, stats do matter in some regard, because you can't just put anybody up for MVP, right? But I think it's not a head-to-head comparison on stats. It's more like, okay, these are the stats. They deserve to be in the MVP conversation. Now we have to look at the team and see like which team was a little bit better around them, and which team was a little bit worse around them. And in this case, I think the Mariners were a bit worse than the Yankees were. So it has to go to Cal. I think Big Dumper is probably deserving to win the MVP. A catcher has never hit 60 home runs before, so that's pretty historic. And Judge has won MVPs before, and he's gonna win more. The guy is incredible. Like when you look at his baseball reference page, it's incredible. Let's just take a look at his page. Like, he's gonna win more MVPs. The guy is crazy. So if you're a Yankees fan, you're watching this and you're like, you're picking Raleigh. Of course you are. Yeah, I'm picking Raleigh because, look, he already has 2 MVPs. He's going to win more. He has a runner-up. He has votes in almost every season except for those 3 seasons that he didn't have votes. And I think this season he's going to have more votes. He's going to have I mean, look how many times he's led the league in every single hitting category, just about. Even last year he dominated even double plays. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, he led every single hitting category. And the thing about Judge is that he has like great plate discipline. He doesn't strike out that much. I mean, he strikes out quite a bit, but he walks just as much as he strikes out. Like, his percentages are some of the best. I mean, his strikeout percentage is pretty low for like, he's just above the MLB average, but for a power hitter like him, he is not a high strikeout rate, and his walk rate is pretty high. He's actually his walk rate is double that of, almost more than double of MLB average. His strikeout rate's a little bit higher. His home run rate is double. So, like, I wouldn't worry about Judge. He's gonna have more seasons, probably just like this one. I mean, the fact that he had a season last year where he hit 225 OPS, he had 58 home runs, led the league in every category, and then he won MVP. And this season, he's doing the same thing. He's leading every category. He's hit 52 home runs. I mean, like, I think if either of them win it, it's good. And I think if Raleigh wins it, it's good. If Judge wins it, it's good, because they both deserve it. It's just the problem is that it's a team. It's partly individual. It's partly a team thing. They need to have both elements in there. You have to consider both sides of it. So that's just my take on the MVP race in the AL. I think it's kind of interesting because it's so close. It's just, I can't believe how close it is. Like, the pitching is like crazy close. I thought that would be like the deciding factor. Like, the Mariners surely have better pitching. Not really. So anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more baseball content, and I'll catch you next time.